Garland. Mantelpieces, table runners, you name it, garland and roping. Whew. They're all variations.
That's right. Get
of
fresh.
The same thing.
Get fresh. Like so when, like, I guess there's certain areas like in the, like for instance, if I went to my wholesaler or the maker of garland and I said I need garland, he would kind of say, oh. But if you say I need roping, I said, oh, all right, I understand. They're basically the same thing. I expect a homeowner to tell me they want garland, but honestly, we use the term roping. So, all right, so what is it? Roping is because it's followed. Now, on YouTube, you can see this. I'm messing up your whole display.
Yeah.
Now, if you see this, all right, so on a garland, okay, I have in my hand, it's white pine garland that is actually, it is mixed with boxwood, and there's a black rope where they follow it, and they take small bunches of white pine and periodically put boxwood in it, and that they're feeding it on this line, and a wire comes around, and it wires it all together. So you have to have the bunches prepared before you do you start making it. You can't just kind of throw it all together. There's a process. There are lots of different roping, but white pine is the most popular. Mm-hmm. Okay, there is cedar, which is very nice. Sometimes it's called western cedar, and a lot of times that comes from obviously the areas like Oregon. There's also, you can sometimes get laurel, but laurel has been very hard to get. If you see princess pine or ground pine, at Bloomers, we stopped selling it. And we used to sell a lot of it. And it's very great texture. It's very soft. It's a great garland, except where it is not renewable. So if somebody goes out and that we would get guys that would come in and that they would, during this time of the year, they would go into the woods and harvest ground pine. Once it's gone, it's gone. It grows very slow. It's not something you can transplant back in. And so we decided, you know what? I took a walk around Parvin State Park, right, and I saw some wild ground pine. And where I just don't think it's right to be doing it, because it's been, it's one of those things that can go extinct. And it is something that is plentiful in South Jersey. But I just, as a business and as far as a moral standpoint, I decided not to sell it any longer. So if you see princess pine out there, that's just where it is. You'll see mixes like we have the boxwood and pine here, but there's also sometimes cedar and pine mix. You'll see some other mixes, like we have what's called here, this is a mantle or a table runner, and that is, you see this, Aaron? You know what that's called?
What's that?
It's not balsam, it's not Fraser, but it's noble. And
never even heard of it.
It's a noble fir. It looks a lot like Fraser balsam, and that it has a little bit more of a waxy coating. This is also from the West Coast. This is from Oregon, Washington State, that area. There's berry juniper, that's plentiful around, in the Northeast for sure. I encourage you to get bases of like something like this is about 5 feet, and it's a table runner, and for your Christmas dinner or for your kitchen table or for a coffee table, you use it, but you also get some of your own greens from your own landscape and add it to it and make it custom to yourself. People say, "Where'd you get that?" I say, "Well, I made it myself." And that it just, you can do so much if you've got certain things. Beautyberry we talked about. a few weeks back, I think. There's other types of like winterberry holly is another one that can be put in. All of these are a great asset. Now, we do have a wreath here as well. This is a balsam wreath from Canada. Oh, no, take it back. This is Fraser. This is a Fraser wreath from North Carolina. This is a one-sided wreath where the back of it is a clamped ring. Can you get that in there?
Yeah.
You see it, Aaron?
It's there.
If you're looking on YouTube, please subscribe and please give us a review. 5 stars. We would love that, and certainly our sponsors would like that. And where that's clamped together, when it starts to dry out, sometimes it can shake loose. So you got to make sure that if it's really dry outside or you have it inside the house, that you need to mist it once in a while. But so all of these things, where did it come from? Where did we start using it? Do you know it became popularity? And it became really popular when it was actually. Do you want to drop that?
Very good.
I'm showing my age. Okay, so that crank call that used to be, do you have Prince Albert in a can? Because it was actually like a tobacco.
In a can?
Yeah. Prince Albert, okay,
right.
was from Germany, and that he was the husband of Queen Victoria of England.
Right.
All right? Keep with me, folks.
I'm going with you.
All right?
We driving.
And Germany is where they used a lot of evergreen to decorate their homes.
Gotcha.
And so Queen Victoria, and this is 1848, and Queen Victoria said, look, I want, for my husband's sake, I want to bring in and start using some of the evergreens as decorations around the castle, around the palace. And so that's when they start using garland. And garland's like the original Christmas tree decoration. And certainly it's evolved since then. But they would just decorate it with dried fruits and things like that. And the farmers would love that because the dried fruits are basically stuff that they couldn't sell. And it was leftover. So, like, have you ever strung popcorn and cranberries? I mean, somebody out there has. I know you have.
I'm sure
if
people
you
have done it,
strung, all right. Bloomers in the Garden Nation, if you have strung popcorn and cranberries together to make a garland, call the hotline. We want to know. 609-685-1880.
Text us a picture, too.
Yeah. You didn't have to do it today if you've done it in your lifetime. Okay, it can be tedious. But so, all right, so how do Christmas trees become, why do they become a thing? Christmas trees were Martin Luther. Nice. Stick with me, everybody. Martin Luther, the reformist, right?
Yeah.
Tacked on the Catholic Church door, his Reformation, that he was walking through the forest and he was looking through the evergreen trees and he saw the stars, and this was at night, and saw the stars as if they were placed on each individual branch of the evergreen tree. All of a sudden, Martin comes in with the tree in the house. What are you doing? And they put candles on each branch of the tree to reflect on the evergreen. That, for instance, evergreen in basically in Roman cultures and cultures previous, it was evergreen, okay, evergreen,
right? So
that it was eternal. It was associated with eternal life. Christians, eternal life, it's that same type of thing. Holly, so where does holly come from? Holly, you ever grab holly and it's got some points to it? Yeah, they stick. The holly represents the crown of thorns on Jesus. And the red berries were drops of blood during the crucifixion. So a lot of these things, the circular wreath, it's infinity. It's all of those things have something to do with the Christian faith, but it's basically, I'll say it, it's ripped off from previous pagan cultures.
Sure.
So, but hey, I think that's the way everything's done.
Sure.
In a way.
Understand.
But that's why, I mean, it's important for me. I'll always have a fresh Christmas tree in my house. I won't have an artificial tree.
Yeah, we do both.
Yeah, do you do well?
Yeah.
Good for you.
We have the artificial one in the family room and the real one in the living room.
Yeah.
Can't beat the smell.
Yeah, that's right.
Like right now in the studio, it is booming.
Yeah. Like, all right, come on. I have a cold. I can't smell anything. But then again, after making all this stuff, I become, I can't smell it. So, any case.
Yes. If nothing else, for the smell. But I mean, I wanted to rewind for a minute. Kudos to you for doing something to stand up for horticulture.
For what?
In terms of
the environment?
Yeah.
With Princess Pine?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. To be honest, the retailer capitalist in me wishes that I could use that as a ground cover and sell it.
I understand.
But knowing that I can't, and then also to think that you'll never be able to see it.
Sure.
I mean, it literally looks like an evergreen that only grows about 3 inches tall and will fill in a complete area.
Yeah, if I was walking through the forest, I might have been tempted
to stake it?
To take a clipping.
I'm sure there are some guys. I know the name of a guy where I can get it. And he goes through and he goes out and he takes it from the state forest.
Yo, the state park police don't play though.
No, they don't like that.
Yeah,
so.
no.